G'day guys, Josh here from the Queensland branch of Nicola's Machinery with our new biggest and baddest Trident Plus 150 horsepower Synchromesh model. So before we look at the rest of the tractor, we'll start up here at the front with a front end loader as we do with every other tractor we do. So, upgraded front end loader on this with a safe working load of 1.2 tonne, max load of 1.5 tonne. So up here at the front of the tractor, what is now standard on all of our Trident Plus models, you've got features such as an extra guard here on both rams to minimize chances of damage to your rams should something kick up or fall unfavorably towards the tractor. As expected, you've got the guard around the front end loader quick hitch hydraulic system. The 4-in-1 hydraulic system. The hydraulics are now run with sheathing, so if a stick were to kick up, you're not going to get something caught between it and pull them apart. Over here on the Euro hitch attachment for the bucket, you've got a reflector, nice and easy to pay attention. Mind you, it is a bit hard to see from this particular cabin, but on the smaller tractors, it is definitely a plus. So here we are with the bucket. You've got an appropriately sized bucket, probably close to a cube in there, if not over a cube. Now, with regards to the bucket strength, everything is gusseted appropriately, and the bucket itself, the faces are all the appropriate thickness, so you're minimizing the likelihood of bending should you be operating within the parameters of the tractor. Now that we're done up here, let's go have a look inside. Just a couple things to cover on the exterior of the cab before we do jump in. With regards to the driving lights and all the work lights on the tractor, they are all LEDs, except for the low beams, they are halogen. Should the situation arise, having a set of halogen headlights is handy in certain situations. Now, with regards to the fuel tank, we've got an absolute monster 350 litre fuel tank, wraps right around under the chassis here and under the cab. With regards to the tyres, we've got the heavy duty tyres, and on the axle, we've actually left about 70 mil of track width there for you to set your rear tyres at a wider point should you need to, but for transportation purposes, we have to set it at this width. You are welcome to extend them should you need that extra stability, depending on your property and your use case. Let's head inside. So working our way top to bottom, we'll start with what's up here to your right and also what's in front of you here. With regards to the air conditioning control panel, you've got fan speed, temp control, heat, and demister should you need it. Up here, plenty of air conditioning vents as with the left side there. You got a rear view mirror, standard radio that you can connect to. There's your demister panel. Up here, sunroof that you can crack open. You got your shade there that you can retract. Down here is a camera system mounted at the back of the tractor so you can't see what's going on behind you. So here we are with everything to the right of the driver's seat here. You got your 12 volt 240 watt sockets there, USB charger for your phones, rotator beacon light there, windshield, rear and front washers. Now this is what I was referring to with the hydraulic remotes. As you can see, you've got 4 sets. You've got that way, but with the detents, if you pull it right back, they all lock back, and that means you have continuous operation of your implement. And should it require it, as you do, you just lock that back in and she's back in the neutral position. Over here you've got some more lights controls, so that turns on all your driving lights and headlights. That's your master light switch there. You turn that off, it turns off all the lights in the cab and external. Hazard lights, windshield wiper. Now over here, standard H pattern shifter, 4-speed as per most of our tractors. And over here you've got your 4 boxes, A, B, C, D, i.e. low, medium, medium, high, and high. Speeds 1 to 16. Actually, on this particular tractor, you have a guide for your speed ranges, so you're not just playing a guessing game. Familiarize yourself with that, or not, it's always there for you to reference. Down here to the right of your driver's seat, you've got a little cup holder / nook here. These are your 3-point linkage controls. You pull back to lift the 3-point linkage, forward to push it down, and push it all the way forward to lock it into the float mode, which we discussed in the other section of the video. Now this here is not the handbrake for the tractor, but it's actually a sub clutch for the PTO. And if I pull that right up, what that means is if you have an implement behind you that you require to stop operating or stop spinning the PTO in this particular case when you pull up somewhere, i.e. maybe you need to check the auger, you need to just do something or just stop working it for a second, you just pull that up and it will disengage drive to the PTO. Now because it is a sub clutch, you will burn out the clutch if you do not put this handbrake back down after taking off. So you put it down, take off, otherwise you're in a world of hurt. One recent change that we're introducing to all of our tractors is the Indemar joystick. So we've gone from the 2 separate joystick controls, which were a bit cumbersome when you needed to do the work. Now all of your front end loader controls are on the one joystick. You've got up, down and tilt as usual on the one axis, but now if you hold this button in, it activates a solenoid on the front, and if you go left and right, that actually rolls the bucket, or if you have implements like the front end loader post hole digger, that will actually drive the hydraulics on the front, i.e. spin the auger. Indemar is not a no-name brand. They're a brand recognized all over the world and trusted by the likes of John Deere and Massey Ferguson. They are regarded as one of the best quality joysticks on the market. Before I cover the rest of the tractor, I'm going to cover the most important part of the cabin, stubby holder. Perfect for placing your stubby or your glass of wine if you're more refined. Now let's carry on with the rest of the cabin. Now back to a serious part of the video. Over here, you've got on your left side, you've got your 4-wheel drive selector, mainly operating 2-wheel drive. If you are going to use 4-wheel drive, clutch in, pull that up, make sure you're in the low box so you could use any of speeds 1 to 4 in the A box or the low box. It's labeled A on this particular tractor. Now, PTO speed control, if you're going to be using any of our implements, they do run at 540 RPM. This particular tractor has the option to run at 1000 RPM, which will cause damage to our implements. We recommend running the tractor anywhere from 1200 to 1800 RPM. The implement will tell you, you'll get a feel how much the implement wants. Neutral is in the middle, so I'll just let it crack. Down here is 1000. Pull up 1 notch for neutral, pull up for 540, which is where you'll be operating all of our implements. Over here, pretty self-explanatory, is a parking brake that's labeled as such. As you can see there, it just looks like a handbrake. And I'm actually on the suspension seat. The spring isn't done up, but you will be sitting a lot higher, and it will be a lot more ergonomic as a seating position for driving. Over here, you've got your shuttle shifter, which is labeled forward, neutral, reverse. Now, this isn't one of our power shift models, so you will have to clutch in manually, knock it in the forward, neutral, reverse. As per all of our videos, we do adjust a little bit of free play into the clutch pedal, but we please ask, do not rest your foot on the clutch pedal. On this particular tractor, the ergonomics dictate that it's not very comfortable anyway, but again, please do not ride your clutch, as you will cause premature wear or cause it to burn out entirely. Just one thing to be mindful of with this particular tractor is there's a neutral lockout. So clutch in, shuttle shift has to be in neutral. If you turn that into the forward or the reverse, there's no indicator on the dash, but if you tried to start it while it was in reverse or forward, nothing will happen. Clutch in, chuck her in neutral, it'll start right up. Now, finishing up, you've got standard analog dash here, horn. Down here, you've got adjustments for your steering wheel, so you can pull that up, lower and raise accordingly as needed. Down here is your fuel cutoff. So when you turn this key off, should the tractor still be on and running, you will have to manually kill the engine by pulling said fuel cutoff switch. Split brakes, which in this case are pinned right now to be used as combined brakes, but if you need to make tight turns, you can just split them and make left turns or right turns accordingly. Over here is your foot throttle. Lastly, with regards to throttle, you also have your hand throttle that you can use either as a cruise control or when you are stationary and need to provide more revs to the implement on your PTO. So this bad boy right here, the last thing we'll cover in this cabin is the diff lock. So when you really get yourself into trouble and 4-wheel drive isn't enough to get you out of a rut, diff lock here will lock all the wheels so that they spin at the same speed. It's a stomp pedal, so you throw yourself in low, you throw yourself into 4-wheel drive, you take off, you put your foot on that, stomp it down, take your foot off the clutch, and as you get out of the rut and you no longer need the diff lock, you just take your foot off of that and it'll pop itself out of diff lock and off you go. So over here at the back of the tractor, we'll cover a few things with regards to the operations and the service side of things. We'll work from top to bottom. Pretty standard, as with most of our tractors. Few little changes here and there. Breather for the hydraulic system there. Washer bottle for the windshield. Wiper. Over here, you've got the fill point for the shared transmission and hydraulic system. Up here, 4 sets of hydraulic remotes. Most people will never use them, but also depends on your implement use case. That's up to you. Most of them will take 1 or 2 remotes, but it is nice to have the option there. Now, with regards to these, all of the hydraulic remotes do have detents in them, which I'll cover in more detail inside, which means continuous use of the hydraulic system for these remotes. Next up, you got your standard top arm 3-point linkage here. These turnbuckles are our upgraded ones that are new and improved with regards to the Trident Plus series, which I'll cover later on and also in another video. Standard quick hitch. All of our tractors now have down pressure and float in the 3-point linkage, which means should you have something behind you and you need it to follow the contours of the ground, you can put it in float and it will just follow the ground as opposed to skull dragging or missing the low spots. Also standard, you have your fixed drawbar here and a swing drawbar. Obviously, as you use implements, you will have to remove these, but we do provide you these options should you need to tow something around your property. Over here is also a separate fill point. And up here, we don't advertise it much, but if you pay attention, this is a external controller for your 3-point linkage to raise and lower it. So that right there is up, pull that back, is down, as you can see here. If you pull it right back, it's actually in float mode. So if I stop this, mind you, it's a bit heavy, but I can't stop it. You let go, it will follow the ground and will go up with the ground as needed. And just lastly, before we go, there is a 12-volt trailer plug there, which is a 7-pin round for you to tap into should you need the electrics. Last things at the back of the cab before we head in, all your driving lights are LED. You've got your camera there, an antenna for the radio, rotating beacon up there should your property need it, mainly for commercial use.